Welcome to the Pigs Fly Nurture Series. I'm Justin Gray, CEO and founder of LeadMD. This is your source for marketing automation best practices, so enjoy. The next topic is the demand generation funnel, and more specifically the modern day demand generation funnel. I recently did an article for Marketing Automation Times where I talked about a leaky funnel and the effects it can have on a business as a whole. One particular area I focused on was the concept of how a flow within a funnel works. When we look at a funnel, it seems logical that things should flow down the funnel and end up as cash. Let's talk about that for a moment. If leads flow through a funnel, then it's already a fairly one-dimensional assumption. When's the last time your buyers were herded like cattle? Probably more often than you think in the retail space, but also in the B2B environment, the buyer truly does hold all the power. Partly because marketers usually think about marketing in terms of buckets, which that old faithful funnel diagram supports like a crutch. Here's what most marketers will draw when planning a campaign. It's a series of messages and responses. If I get the message but don't open, if I open but don't click, if I click but I don't follow the call to action, and so on and so on. That's simply too constrictive because it gets me into the thinking that all buyers want the same thing, and they should simply respond, or I should keep beating them over the head until they do. Stop to consider that perhaps the message isn't appropriate, the call to action wasn't compelling, or that the target wasn't set correctly. Regardless, we live to market another day, so why not build our funnel in a way that supports this? Let's build it so each interesting movement that a lead exhibits is scored and that the system is repeatable enough so that when I bring new content online, it will simply fit into my existing methodology. We can do this by naming links, pages, content, emails, everything uniquely and consistently. We then base score off naming convention, not the bucket. What's more important, we get rid of the notion that a campaign contains a certain number of steps. Campaigns become intros to a conversation, and then as our score indicates interest, we build to a point where a more extensive conversation is warranted. We simply shift the buyer to the next conversation point based upon who they are and what they've told us. Therefore, our funnel becomes more of a target where leads flow back and forth based upon a truly dynamic scoring system. To find out more about the demand generation process and lead management, you can visit our resources area online at leadmd.com.